You guys, welcome to episode number 14 of the Derby Crowd Live. And to start off this episode, we're currently top of the table. We have got a few tough fixtures in this episode, kicking it off away at Wembley against Spurs, and then Everton at home. And then we've got Liverpool, Leicester and Roma. So there's some really tough fixtures coming up. Most of the teams that we are playing are in the top four or have the capability of being in the top four by the end of the season. Obviously, both Everton and Spurs not doing too well. Where's Spurs? 9th. So yeah, they're still within like 5 points off the top four. So teams that we need to be wary of. Of course, we don't really have any money at the moment to be able to make any signings. We have a little bit, but I think I'm either going to use that as a pre-contract signing, or we're going to wait until some of our players have been bidded on, such as the ones we have transfer listed if we eventually load the transfer hub. As you can see, we've got Sesuan Cambo, Sportiello, Lee, Callum Guy and Marino. So there's a good 25 million there if we sell all these players. It's just whether they do sell or not. That's the only question. Into the first game then against Spurs at Wembley. We are really hit and miss against Spurs. Sometimes we'll do a great job and then other times we'll be absolutely pathetic. I'm going to go for the black kit actually. Haven't used it in a while. And we have got a fully fit lineup, so that's good to see, of course. Here we are then against Spurs at Wembley. Looking at their lineup, they've gone for, I'm assuming, a 4-2-3-1. And they have, with Hugo Lloris in goal. Aurier, Vertonghen, Sanchez, Tellez, João Mario, and I don't know who that other central midfielder is, and Onuma, Son, and Dele Alli and Kane up front. It's a very good team, of course. Onuma's probably about 82, 83 rated by now, a very good player, on loan at Aston Villa this season, and Tellez at left back will be another one that's a good 85 rated player, and obviously Kane and Dele Alli will both be over 90. Ball inside to Kane with the shot, and with the goal, Harry Kane. He's a clinical striker and he has found the back of the net there in the first 20 minutes to make it 1-0. Didn't exactly want to concede the first goal, but when you've got such a good striker in Kane up front, it is very difficult indeed. It's nice turn inside from Dele Alli into Son, first time pass across, goes in front of Stark and into that top left hand corner to make it 1-0. 7th goal this season. Into the edge to Kera. Now in the box to Ox. He's gone round the man with the shot and with the goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain, obviously the former Arsenal man, scoring against Spurs. Makes it 1-1 just before the hour mark, and we're back in this game. We need to get something just to keep us in top position. Obviously, if Chelsea win, they'll go top. Just out of time left, so we've got about one attack. Adams with the ball, bringing it forwards with his pace. It's into the middle to Ox. Cut inside nicely now with the shot and with the goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain, with pretty much the last kick of the game, has got the winner against Spurs. I must say, both keepers have been absolutely fantastic this game. Both mine and Spurs keeper Hugo Lloris, both in fine form, but couldn't keep that one out. And I hope that's the winner. And there it is against Spurs. 2-1 win in the end. Really needed that win to keep us in top position, of course. And we really didn't have many chances, I must say. It must have been, as you can see, three saves here for Fontana and a couple for Lloris. But all in all, I'd say Spurs were the better team. And we kind of got lucky. We had more technically shots, but I think Spurs were in better positions. But yeah, we kind of got a bit lucky and got the win anyway. Arsenal trying to get Laporte on a pre-contract signing. That's one thing we could do with our money. Look for next season. Bring in Laporte, something like that. That'd be absolutely fantastic, of course. We'll have a look in a moment, but first we've got this bid in here for Callum Guy. It seems to be a massive glitch. I've seen it in a lot of people's career modes where there's a player around the 70 mark and they'll just get like tons of bids, but they'll never move, basically. It's one of those annoying things because EA just don't really care about career mode. So, looking at our transfer hub, I think Laporte is one of the higher rated players we've got on as well, and he's not on too much wage, so financially it might be quite a clever thing to do. As you can see, only 6 months left, and Arsenal are trying to get him. So if we can get him instead, he's only on 50 grand wages. If we can get him for, as you can see, it says between 56 and 90, we can afford that. So let's go do it. Of course, it will mean we probably won't be signing any players this window, but we have brought in Pellegrini and Dolberg, two fantastic players, of course, and building for next season might be the better thing to do. Obviously, he's only just moved to Manchester City in real life. So as you can see, we can afford him. Ideally, I'd like to get rid of that clean sheet bonus and just try and negotiate as much as we can. We've still got 2 million. but I doubt there's really anything to sign any players. It's gone up to 90k plus 1.1. I'm happy to do that. I think Laporte, we need that extra centre-back. We've got Kerr and Stark, who are both like 81, 82, 83 rated. 83 and 81. I think we need something a little bit better at the back. I think we just need that higher quality. We've obviously got the 85 in the midfield. We've got the 86 up front. So I think defence logically was the next thing to do. We could always put Kerr at right back. Like, he's got the pace to do it there. He's got 87 pace. 6'1", can do a job there, of course. So that's one option we have for next season if need be. But yeah, I'm really glad we brought in Laporte. I think he'll be a great addition to the next year. If we do another year, let me know if you guys want to see season 5 of this career mode. I don't mind carrying on, but maybe you guys are getting a bit bored of it. I don't know, but I still enjoy making this Derby team a little bit better. One thing I might say is if we win, let's say if we win the Champions League, I wouldn't do the Champions League next season. I'd concentrate fully on the Premier League. Obviously, we'd still be in the Champions League, but I wouldn't like show it in the episodes, if that makes any sense. Let me know down below if you'd like to see something like that. So into the next game against Everton, obviously only a few points off the top 4. If they win, they can potentially go into 5th. And if we win, we can extend our league at the top, hopefully. So against Everton, we are a bit hit and miss. Sometimes, if you remember last season, it was a crazy game towards the end of the season that we had to win to get in the top 4. I will give them their blue kit just because of the shorts. And I think I'll go with the same lineup. I don't think there's a need for making any changes, really. I might get Tammy involved, just because the strikers weren't too impressive in the last game. Here we are then against Everton. Another tough game, and another game we need to win to make sure we stay top of the table. So they're playing that classic 5 at the back with Lafont, Zappacosta, Manolas, Michael Keane, Umtiti, Shaw, Wanyama, Schneidlin, Sigurdsson, and Moussa Dembele and Rashford up front. Very, very good team, actually. Like, it's, if I was doing a career mode, this team is pretty perfect. Like, for the formation, maybe a better cam for Sigurdsson. He's getting on a bit now, but it's a very good team indeed. Both very good fullbacks, of course. Amazing back 3. One of the best goalkeepers on the game, and 2 of the best strikers up front. Like, you couldn't get much of a better career mode team. Ox with the ball in the box here. He's got it into the back post, into Simon with the goal, and it's 1-0. We were about to get a penalty as well. I think Luke Shaw fell in Ox as he crossed the ball in, but the Nigerian is there to find the back of the net and to make it 1-0 in the first 20 minutes, just like against Spurs, but it was Harry Kane. This time we've actually got the early goal, and we're in a good, comfortable position now. Now to Dolberg, across to Wisdom. It's gone into the middle to Dolberg with the header and with the goal. Kasper Dolberg might go down as an own goal, I'm not sure, because of the way the camera moved, but he has got a goal for us. Kind of set it up as well. I went into Wisdom, kind of dinks it back inside for him, and I don't know if it's going to go just the way the camera moved, but yeah, it's his first goal in the Premier League for Dolberg. I think he scored one in the Champions League, or was it the FA Cup? It might have been the FA Cup, I can't remember, but at least he's got one in the Prem now. Hopefully it's the first of many. There it is, full time against Everton. We have won at 2-0 and got the 3 points again. Really, really good from us. I don't think there was ever a point where I thought I was going to lose that game. And Lafont doing most of the business for Everton, and we've won the game 2-0. Broken toe for Oxlade-Chamberlain, going to be out for 2 months, meaning he will be out of our next game against Swansea in the FA Cup. It has just been drawn, and yeah, it's going to be until maybe the Roma fixture. I'm not sure, so might be after. Yeah, it's going to be after the Roma first fixture anyway. He should be back for the second leg, hopefully. So I don't know if it was wise me taking him off, but broken toes seem to be a massive factor this year. It is on the deadline date as well, the game against Swansea. So it's going to be in between that and the Liverpool game. I was kind of hoping we'd have that big break, but no, instead we've got to play against Swansea. But it is the FA Cup, and Swansea aren't doing too well this year. It's actually been done. Callum Guy has been sold. I just literally accepted every offer, because by that point it was literally about 10 to 15 offers that have had been made for him. But yeah, we got an extra 1.6 million. I don't think that money will really go anywhere. We've got 3 mil, well, about 4 mil actually. In a way, it's, well, I don't think it does. No, it must not take out the pre-contract signings, unless Lafont hasn't accepted it yet, but I think he has. So I don't know why we've still got 97 grand wage. That's a bit interesting. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's been accepted for Dolberg, so I'm not 100% sure why the wage is still what it is, but I'll take it. We've still got a bit of money there. One player I was looking at, obviously, we have just signed him in real life in the January transfer window. It is Casey Palmer, obviously quite still young. Don't quite know what his stats are and what kind of value he's at, but he's got very nice pace indeed at about 80. Well, he's got 89 acceleration and then about 79 sprint speed. So quite decent indeed. I'm just going to see what the scout report is. Obviously, we'll get up to deadline day, and maybe we can sneak him in, maybe with a swap deal. I'm not too sure, but I always like to make realistic signings. Transfer offer here from Wolves for Matai Vidra. Going to be rejecting this immediately. It's crazy how he's still valued so poorly, even though he's the second highest goal scorer in the league. You'd expect him to have at least like a, I don't know. The thing is, the annoying thing, because of when I started this career mode, his rating was 70 and it goes up to a 73. If you start the career mode now, he starts as a 73 and he goes up to like a 78, 79. So it's kind of annoying, because I would have really liked a 78 rated Matai Vidra in the team. Instead, we've got a 73. But we are about to play the game against Swansea. I don't know if we do deadline day and then we play Swansea, or we play Swansea then do deadline day. We'll have to wait and see. So we do play the Swansea game first, then we do deadline day. So as it is the final day, we will have a look at what kind of information we have for Casey Palmer, because I don't want to like mess up the deal and then not be able to get him in the future. But he's probably going to be towards the bottom end. He hasn't actually got, he's worth about 12, which is kind of good information to have. We've got somewhat of his stats, which look really nice. I wouldn't mind him in the team. Could do a job out wide with that pace. Can we get him on a loan? No. That's kind of annoying. I wouldn't have minded that. At 24, you'd still, I don't know. Especially at Chelsea, you'd expect him to still be available on a loan. But we've got nothing else to do. We may as well try and get him on a buy. But at the same time, I kind of want to wait, because if we get an offer for some of our players, so I'll literally leave it until the final hour on deadline day, I think. So we'll leave it until then, because if we get an offer for like Sessuan Cambo, get an extra 5 mil, we might be able to get him, so that'd be kind of cool. So into the game against Swansea. Obviously, Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to be out for 2 months now. It is an FA Cup game, but since we've got a week until the next one, I may as well play my first team. I will go with our luminescent kit, and probably go with the first team. Maybe put Bennett in, just because it's FA Cup. Here we are for the FA Cup then against Swansea. They are a very good team, actually, Swansea. They've got some great signings indeed. They're playing a diamond formation. Pickford in goal, Rafinha, Amat, Fernandez, Gaia, Fajar, Ward-Prowse, Roque Mesa. I would probably put Roque Mesa at holding, but nevertheless he's still very good in the midfield there. And Tom Carroll, Baston and Paulson up front. Very two big, powerful strikers. And Jordan Pickford in goal, obviously about 82 rated by now. Vidra blocks the clearance. Can he win the second ball though? Gone into Simon. Now into Dolberg. Can he turn the man? Yes he can. With the shot. With the goal, Kasper Dolberg. Great start to the game. First 10 minutes. The Danish has got his second goal now. I don't know if he scored before that last game. Maybe that was his first goal for the club. But we've got him 2-2 now. That's good to see he's in the form now that he's got the goal. And definitely what we needed against Swansea. You get the early start away from home. And got a bit lucky. He was getting his shirt pulled. But in between the two defenders, goes through them and into the top left. Ball to Moses Simon. Can he get the second goal? He's got the shot off and it is in the back of the net. And Nigerian doubles the lead in the just about 20th minute to make it 2-0. Really nice run here from him. Dolberg lays it off, gets the assist of course. And we're finding it really easy at the moment to get the ball in the back of the net, which is really good to see. We tend to do quite well in January, and players have got places to win for. Had a time left in this first half. It's gone into Baston, who's found the back of the net there to keep it alive then in the second half of Swansea. It is ball for Baston. It's kind of crazy how his career's gone in Swansea. Like, he's played about 10-15 games, and they've kind of just outcast him when they could give him a chance with the new manager, of course. But I think he's on loan at Malaga at the moment, and I would like him in the Premier League. He's one of those players that seems like he'd do well, but hasn't really been given the chance. Cross here to Lawrence, through for Tammy with the shot and with the goal. Really nice goal there to get the winner against his former club, Tammy Abraham. I don't know why I've done that really. He shouldn't really. Well, he was only on loan, so it wasn't really much of a connection with the club, but gets the winning goal hopefully, and gets us through to the next round. Really nice ball through there from Tom Lawrence, the Welshman, and finds it into the back of the net. It's Tammy back to Dolberg. Chance to get a fourth in this game. Going to cut inside with Dolberg with the shot, and it's into the back of the net. That's what we paid for. All that money, 50 million, and he's got his third goal now for the club. He's really enjoying the FA Cup. Seems to be getting plenty of goals there. It's just the Premier League, we need to get a few more with him. We're only one so far, but hasn't played too many, of course. So, and yeah, makes it 4-1 and gets us through to the next round. 3 goals so far in 2 games. And there we are, through to the next round of the FA Cup. 4-1 victory, quite comfortable in the end against Swansea. We kind of struggled towards the end of the first half, but obviously in the second we just killed it off in the last 10 minutes, and we're through to the next round. Hopefully, I'm hoping for like a smaller team because we've got quite a few fixtures coming up, but we'll have to wait and see. Transfer offer for Sportiello. Now, the issue with this is if we get rid of Sportiello for 11 million, I want to bring in Casey Palmer, but do we have the time to get another goalkeeper on top of that? That's the question. We're going to try and negotiate because he's not exactly been involved too much. I wouldn't mind just going for like a reserve goalie. It's just whether we get an injury or not to Fontana. That'll be the big problem. I'll go in with 14. I know he's not playing too much, but that's what the value was. I don't really want the sell-on clause, so I'm going to remove that, put it up to 13. And there we go. They're happy with 13.1 million, which should be enough for Casey Palmer. But we also need a goalkeeper, and we've only got 5 hours left. So we're going to have to do a lot to make sure we're safe and sound in that goalkeeper department, and we bring in Casey Palmer, so it's a bit of everything we need. Roma are wanting Moses Summer for 29 million. It is pretty much the last hour. If they came in with this bid with 10 hours left, I might have been a bit more interested. We could get up to 50 million for him. That's the crazy thing. But what will we do? Because we haven't got time to actually make anything happen, I don't think. So we're also waiting for this deal for Sportiello to go through. I'm going to just reject it. I think he's too important for the club, and we don't really have the time. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get Joel Robles and Adura. I wouldn't have mind Joel Robles as well. He's quite decent. He's not too bad at all. Pretty nice stats for a backup, which means we'll probably go for Scott Carson just as a backup. So we've sold Sportiello, and it says the board has allocated 10 million to the transfer budget. But then when I go over to the transfer budget, we've only got 5. So where's the other half? And his wages, which were quite high as well. It means we might not be able to get Casey Palmer because he's probably on quite a bit of wages as well. I'm going to try, but it's probably not viable. We've put the bid in here for Scott Carson just in case if we can't get one of the better goalkeepers. But yeah, we're going to go try and get Casey Palmer, who's all the way down here. We should probably trim out this shortlist, but it's like depending on what kind of player we need. We've got him as an option. So 11 million is this value. We might need to look for a swap. They're looking for a midfielder, and we've only got 4. And George Thorne would probably be the only one I'd be kind of interested, but even then, he's quite a handy backup to have. Because if we get an injury, for example, like, we've only got 3 midfielders then, so it's... I don't think they'd even be interested in George Thorne anyway. So, we'll give it a go, because he's not playing too much, and I kind of, yeah, he's still not interested in George Thorne, so... It's going to be a player alone, money alone, sorry. And I don't think 5 million's enough, really. But his wage is going to be about 40 grand, so I can't really do much here. I don't know why the budget hasn't been added with Sportiello. That's the annoying thing. I guess we offer just 5 million plus a sell-on clause and just hope. Yeah, the waste of time. So yeah, looks like we're not going to be able to get Casey Palmer this window, which is a bit of a shame. And we've kind of cocked up the goalkeeper situation in a way. I might be able to get a bit of a better goalkeeper though. In, for example, Ulrich. He's slightly better than Carson, who's 35 and 70 rated. Ulrich's around, well, it says 66 to 76, but I think he'll be at least 75 with those stats that he has got there. We could also go for Sam Johnston. There we go, they're happy with that. So 2.7 plus 20% sell-on clause, which probably never happen for Sam Johnston, who's probably slightly better than Scott Carson. I know it would have been nice to bring Scott Carson back, but he wouldn't really be that usable. That's the only issue. At least Johnston, he's got some decent stats on him around the 75 280 mark, so let's negotiate that wage. In a way, I kind of wanted them to come in with like a 40 grand wage, but I'll go off that. Yeah, they're just about happy with that. I'll accept that. So he is on probably about the same wages as Sportiello, but we've got a bit of transfer budget. I don't know where that's gone though. That's the only issue. I don't know if it's because we did the financial takeover, so it's basically messed up that ordeal. But we've still got Sportiello here. And Sam Johnson, who's 74 rated, so he's slightly better than Carson. But it says we sold Sport. I don't get what's happening. As you can see there, he's there. But he's not there when... I don't know what's happening, really. This game is so triggering. So we've left the January transfer window now. And Sunderland have decided to pay Sessegnon Cambo's release clause. Like, this game just wants to kill me. Because Sportiello's still in the club. I don't know what's happening, really. Because we got the message, oh, we get 10 million added to the budget, but he's still at the club. And now we've got an extra goalkeeper, which we don't really need now. He's not bad, but he's on 50 grand wages, so it's like, this game's just killing me at the moment. So I think we're going to end the episode here. We're currently top of the table in the Premier League. We have got the game against Roma in the next episode, in the Champions League, of course, and I don't know what's quite happening with all these transfers. We've kind of messed ourselves over, but the game has kind of messed us over at the same time. Like, we got the message saying he's been sold, but he's still at the club. So I don't quite know what's happening. But we brought in some decent players in January. We brought in Stark, Pellegrini and Dolberg, who's 87 rated now, so that's absolutely fantastic to see. We've kind of messed up our financials, but if you look at, not this bit, but the message board, it will say that Sportiello's been sold, but he's not. So I don't quite know what... There, sold. Gone. But he's still here for some reason. I don't know if it's because the... When did we get the offer? I don't know if when the offer was received, I don't know if that's when the Calcio transfer window closed, so it's going to happen at the end of the season. If that's the fact of the matter, then that's probably quite good at the same time, because by the end of the season he won't have played that many games and his value will have dropped. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. We won some quite nice games in the Premier League, and we're through to the next round of the FA Cup, which hasn't quite been drawn yet, I don't think. No. So we'll have to wait and see who we get, and yeah, leave a like if you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Bye.